Because sometimes I'm always looking for the perfect person. I need this perfect, and I'm not perfect, so what am I doing, right?
You gotta lower your standards, Common?
No. Some of the stuff you want in a person is not, that's not the real values. Just look for the real core values and make sure the things on your list that you can mark those things on your list.
So are there what's on your list? What's on your list of the priorities, just in case there's somebody watching right now who goes, I think I would be perfect for Common out there.
Okay, sweetheart, this is what I love.
Y'all, the streets are on fire with this one. Did Common really just get caught red-handed cheating on Jennifer Hudson? And the person enjoying every second of it is none other than Tiffany Haddish? Because if you've been paying attention, Tiffany has been clowning Jennifer hard, throwing shade that cuts deep. And some fans swear she's finally getting her lick back. Now, everybody knows Tiffany's history with Common. She was the one he was with before Jennifer, and their breakup left her salty in ways she never really hid. So the question is, did Common just hand her the perfect revenge storyline? Here's the wild part. Tiffany isn't even trying to play it cool. She's out here laughing, joking, dropping subliminals, and acting like she just pulled front row tickets to the drama. And honestly, the way Common's relationship history looks, nobody should be surprised. The man has a reputation that follows him everywhere he goes. But let's slow down, because while the streets are buzzing about cheating rumors, Jennifer Hudson's fans are shook. They thought she had finally found her forever. Common was out here doing interviews, smiling into cameras, calling Jennifer his prototype, the one he saw himself marrying. He told the world, if I ever get married, Jennifer is the person.
Do you ever see yourself married one day?
Marriage is something that if I were to get married, then Jennifer is the person.
Oh, she the prototype?
She is but she's not only the prototype, she is the person.
Yeah.
But that being said, you know, it's one of those things where I'm like always looking at my life and saying, okay, because that's a strong choice to make, you know.
That's not just boyfriend talk. That's husband energy. He was painting her as the dream girl, the soulmate, the once-in-a-lifetime partner. And now, folks are whispering that while he was sweet-talking in public, he was sneaking around in private. Ever notice how somebody can say all the right things, but their actions tell a whole different story? That's Common in a nutshell. And Tiffany Haddish knows it better than anyone. See, when Common first moved on from Tiffany to Jennifer, Tiffany didn't keep quiet. She let it be known she felt played. On Instagram Live, when a fan mentioned a gift Common supposedly gave her, Tiffany snapped back real quick, saying he probably gave that to Jennifer. That's not just bitterness. That's a wound talking. And now, watching Jennifer allegedly go through the same heartbreak, Tiffany's shade suddenly looks less like petty jokes and more like, see, I told y'all, but here's where it gets messier. Because if you look at Common's track record, this ain't a one-time slip-up. This man has been linked to some of the biggest women in Hollywood: Erykah Badu, Serena Williams, Taraji P. Henson, Angela Rye, and almost every time it ends the same way. A quick spark, a whole lot of headlines, and then poof. Common pulls a disappearing act, leaving behind a trail of confusion and broken hearts. And yet, every single time, the next woman swears she'll be the exception. Jennifer Hudson was supposed to be that exception. She was the star powerful enough, grounded enough, soulful enough to make him finally slow down. But if these cheating rumors are true, Jennifer might have just become another chapter in the same old story. Now, here's the kicker. Common has tried to flip this narrative before. After his breakup with Angela Rye, he started talking about therapy, healing, and becoming a better man. He even mentioned Michelle Obama's name, saying she gave him wisdom about love and compromise. That had people thinking, okay, maybe this man has grown. Maybe he's ready for marriage. But if you stack that image next to what's happening now, it looks like the therapy didn't stick. It looks like the same old Common, smiling for cameras while playing games behind closed doors. And you know who was already onto this long before Jennifer? Tiffany Haddish. See, Tiffany was ride or die for this man. During the pandemic, they were locked in tight. She went public about their love, gushed about him in interviews, even tilted her camera on Instagram Live just so the world could see she was booed up. She dreamed out loud about birthdays, proposals, and marriage. She literally said she wanted him to give her an apartment building instead of a ring. That's commitment talk. That's, I'm in this for the long haul. And how did Common respond? With bare minimum effort. When her 41st birthday came around, Tiffany had plans for a big romantic adventure. Common, he sent flowers. And that was it. Y'all already know flowers don't cut it when you've been hyping up wedding bells and forever plans. Tiffany was invested. Common wasn't. So when the breakup happened and Common tried to spin it as schedules and careers, Tiffany wasn't falling for it. She straight up said he might be the type who never really settles down, like a bee bouncing from flower to flower. And honestly, that line aged like prophecy, because watching him with Jennifer Hudson now, it's like the same script being played all over again. But let me tell y'all why Jennifer's situation hits harder. Jennifer Hudson isn't just any woman. She's somebody who's been through more pain than most of us could even imagine. She lost her mother, her brother, and her nephew in the most tragic way possible, just weeks after getting engaged to her ex, David Otunga. The world watched her grieve, and then we watched her rebuild brick by brick. When she finally found love again, people wanted to believe it was the healing she deserved. And for a while, with Common, it looked like maybe she found that peace. So these rumors about him stepping out, that's not just messy gossip. That's reopening old wounds. And the worst part is how Common plays both sides of the coin. He gives just enough love and promise to make it look real, then slips away when it starts to get serious. And it's not just Jennifer, not just Tiffany, not just Angela Rye. Remember Erykah Badu? Back in the early 2000s, they were the it couple. Common called her his first love. When they broke up, he painted it like she was the one who fell for another man. But years later, Erykah hinted that it was actually Common that was unfaithful. That's a pattern. That's a man who tells his version of the story while the women live a whole different reality. So now we're here, Jennifer Hudson in the middle of a storm she didn't see coming. Tiffany Haddish sitting courtside, smirking like karma finally came to collect. And Common, quiet, smiling, and pretending like he's still the good guy. But the streets are louder than him right now, and according to his history, this won't be the last time his name is tied up in heartbreak. But the real question y'all gotta ask yourselves is this. Is Tiffany really just laughing from the sidelines, or is she plotting something bigger? Because if she wanted Common back, this scandal might have just opened the door for her. And knowing Tiffany's energy, if she wants her man, she's not going to let a little cheating rumor stop her. Now let's rewind for a second, because to really understand this Common situation, you gotta go back. His history with women has always been a roller coaster. And if you zoom out, the pattern is crystal clear. Let's start with the Erykah Badu era, because that relationship is where a lot of fans first saw cracks in the armor. Common used to say Erykah was his first true love. They were magnetic, powerful, and for a while, untouchable. But when it ended, he told everybody she dumped him over the phone because she caught feelings for someone else. That's the story he sold, and for years, people believed it. But Erykah eventually opened up and said there was way more to it. She said infidelity was involved. And the way she said it, y'all, it wasn't some vague maybe. It was a quiet confirmation that Common had been playing the same game back then that he's accused of playing now. And that was 2 decades ago. If this man's been consistent about anything, it's been this. He will charm you, he will claim you're the one, and then he'll find a way to slip out the back door when things get too real. Now, compare that to Jennifer Hudson's experience. Jennifer isn't just another name on a list. She's been through tragedy, loss, and survival. And when you come from that kind of background, stability means everything. After her engagement to David Otunga fell apart, she wasn't looking for games. She wanted a partner she could count on. And Common positioned himself as that guy. He wasn't just talking about love, he was talking about forever. He even said publicly that Jennifer was the person he'd marry if he ever tied the knot. He put that stamp on her name, like he was ready to make her the exception. So when whispers of cheating started flooding the streets, it hit different, because it wasn't just another breakup. For Jennifer, it felt like betrayal layered on top of years of heartache she already lived through. But here's the twist. Tiffany Haddish is sitting on the sidelines, and to her, all this looks like poetic justice. See, Tiffany has been throwing shade since day one. She never truly let go of Common. Even after they broke up, she kept dropping little digs in interviews and on social media. Remember when she joked about the earrings? That wasn't a random comment. That was her way of telling the world she felt Common had overlapped their relationships. And now, with Jennifer supposedly going through the same heartbreak, Tiffany's treating it like the universe just handed her a win. And honestly, Tiffany might not be wrong. Because if you look at Common's timeline with women, the overlaps are suspicious. He's got this way of soft launching a new relationship right as the old one is falling apart. It's like clockwork. And the women he leaves behind, they rarely keep things cordial. Erykah Badu threw shade. Taraji P. Henson distanced herself completely. Angela Rye spoke her truth about feeling like he just wasn't ready for real commitment. And Tiffany, well, she turned her bitterness into entertainment. The only constant, Common always looks like the one who comes out unbothered. But don't think Jennifer Hudson is just sitting quietly in all of this. If you know anything about Jennifer, you know she's not the type to let the world see her cracked. She's handled her entire career with poise, even in the face of unimaginable tragedy. So while the streets might be buzzing, Jennifer's strategy has always been to move in silence. And that silence might actually be hurting her right now, because while she's keeping quiet, Tiffany is clowning, Common is deflecting, and the internet is filling in the blanks with its own wild theories. Let's not forget, Common didn't just hype Jennifer up as a girlfriend. He was talking like she was his wife-to-be. In one interview, he said flat out, "If I get married, Jennifer is the person." Y'all know how strong that is? That's not a maybe. That's not a "we'll see." That's claiming somebody publicly. And fans ate it up. They thought they were watching Black Hollywood royalty in the making. But now, with rumors of him stepping out, it looks like those words were just a performance. And the kicker? He's done this before. Remember Angela Rye? She was a boss, a political commentator, a powerhouse. When they dated, it looked like Common had finally found someone to match his energy. But then he dipped, claiming therapy was teaching him to be a better man. He framed the breakup like it was just about timing and growth. But if you listen closely, it sounds like the same excuse he used with Tiffany: careers, schedules, timing. It's never about accountability. It's never about him admitting he wasn't ready. It's always about external stuff that makes him look noble while the woman walks away feeling blindsided. And then there's the Michelle Obama factor. Common himself admitted that Michelle gave him advice about relationships, telling him not to expect perfection in a partner because he wasn't perfect either. That's golden advice, y'all. That's wisdom. But clearly it went in one ear and out the other. Because if you're still repeating the same pattern after years of therapy and talks with Michelle Obama, that's not growth. That's just PR. Which brings us right back to Tiffany Haddish. Because while Jennifer is trying to process what's happening, Tiffany is making sure the world sees her laughing. She's gloating, cracking jokes, and letting it be known that she feels vindicated. To her, this isn't just Jennifer getting played. It's karma coming full circle. And if you know Tiffany, you know she's the type to take that karma and run with it. But here's the million-dollar question. Does Tiffany actually want Common back? Or does she just want to see him burn? Because her energy right now could go either way. On one hand, she's acting like the bitter ex who's finally getting her payback. On the other, she's still clearly hung up on him, still invested enough to keep talking about him, still letting her name stay attached to his. And if Common came knocking, would Tiffany really say no? Some fans think she wouldn't. They think she's still hoping for her moment. And honestly, That's what makes this whole triangle messy. Because while Jennifer's reputation is taking the hit, Tiffany might see an opportunity to slide back in. Imagine that. Jennifer heartbroken, Tiffany grinning, and Common pretending like he's the victim of gossip. That's the kind of drama Hollywood eats up. But for Jennifer, it's nothing but pain. Now let's be real for a second. Common is charming, no doubt about it. He's talented, he's successful, he's got the smooth words down to a science. But charm without consistency is just manipulation dressed up pretty. And the women he leaves behind all tell a similar story. They thought they had forever, but he only had for now. So when you look at Jennifer Hudson's situation today, you gotta ask, was she ever really the exception, or just the latest name in a long cycle? And if that's the case, then Tiffany Haddish isn't just being petty. She might be the only one who saw it coming. But that's not the end of it. Because while Tiffany is cracking jokes, there are whispers that Jennifer might not be done with Common just yet. Some fans believe she's trying to fight for her man, to hold on to the image of what they had. And if that's true, then this story is about to get even messier, because nothing in Hollywood stays hidden for long, and the truth about Common's new woman might be uglier than anyone expects. Let's talk about Jennifer Hudson's past for a minute, because if you know her story, you know why this whole situation cuts even deeper. Jennifer has survived pain that would have broken most people. Back when she was engaged to WWE wrestler David Otunga, tragedy hit her life in the most unimaginable way. Just weeks after their engagement, her mother, brother, and nephew were all tragically taken from her in one of the darkest chapters Hollywood has ever seen. And through all that, David Otunga was right there by her side. He stepped up, he held her down. He was the rock she leaned on while she pieced her life back together. And for a while, people thought Jennifer had found her forever. They welcomed a son together, little David Jr., and on the outside, their life looked picture perfect. But behind closed doors, things weren't so clean. By 2017, their relationship had unraveled into chaos. Jennifer accused David of becoming aggressive, threatening, even abusive. She claimed he harassed her, sent her chilling messages, and that things escalated to a point where she felt unsafe for both herself and her son. It got so serious, she had to call in security just to feel protected. Imagine going through that after already losing so much. So when that relationship ended, Jennifer wasn't just walking away from a man, she was walking away from a nightmare. That's why when she stepped out with Common, fans were relieved. They thought, finally, she's found a man who'll love her the right way. He was polished, respected, admired in the industry. He said all the right words, and Jennifer believed him. But now, with cheating rumors swirling, it looks like she might have walked straight from one heartbreak into another. And here's what makes it worse. Common was out here building this image of himself as the changed man. He told the world therapy had helped him grow. He was doing podcasts talking about commitment, fatherhood, legacy. He painted himself as the man who'd finally matured out of his player days. But when you stack those words up against his actions, the math don't add up, because therapy without accountability is just a script. And Common? He's been performing that script for years. That's why Tiffany Haddish's shade hits so hard. Because to her, this isn't just gossip, it's validation. She said from the start that Common wasn't built for forever. She told people he was the type to bounce from flower to flower. She called him out for the bare minimum, and now she's watching Jennifer go through the same thing. To Tiffany, this is karma with a front row seat. But here's the messy part. While Tiffany is throwing jokes, there's real talk on the streets that she still wants him back. That all this shade, all this bitterness, it's not just about revenge, it's about attention. Because if Tiffany was truly done with Common, why keep his name in her mouth? Why keep reminding the world of her connection to him? Some fans believe deep down she's still hoping he'll circle back. And if Common has shown us anything, It's that he never really closes the door. He always leaves just enough space to slide back into old patterns. Now, imagine that. Jennifer Hudson, brokenhearted. Tiffany Haddish, laughing but secretly hoping. And Common, smiling through it all like none of it sticks to him. That's not just messy. That's a full-blown Hollywood soap opera. And if you think this is where it ends, think again. Because Common has a history of soft launching new women right after the old one crumbles. It's the same play he ran after Erica. It's the same play he ran after Angela Rye. And now, with Jennifer, people are already whispering about who the new woman might be. The man is a master at flipping the narrative. He goes from dream husband to mysteriously single to new couple goals in the blink of an eye. And every time the woman left behind is the one catching the heat. Jennifer deserves better than that. She's carried her pain with grace. She's built her career on talent and resilience. And she's raised her son while balancing one of the hardest industries in the world. The last thing she deserves is to be just another name in Common's highlight reel of heartbreaks. But unless something changes, that's exactly what she'll be. And Tiffany, she might think she's winning by clowning Jennifer right now, but let's be real. If she actually takes Common back, she's walking into the same cycle Jennifer just stepped out of. Because a man who builds a pattern like this doesn't change overnight. Therapy, advice, pretty words, it all sounds good, but history tells a different story. So, where does this leave us? 3 people locked in a triangle of heartbreak, shade, and bad decisions. Jennifer, who deserves peace but keeps getting played. Tiffany, who's laughing loud but maybe hurting even louder on the inside. And Common, who keeps slipping through women's fingers while maintaining his image as the charming, poetic good guy. But here's the twist, y'all. This story ain't over. Because if Tiffany really does try to slide back in, you already know it's going to explode all over the internet. And if Common pops out with a brand new woman while the dust is still settling with Jennifer, the streets are gonna eat him alive. Either way, this triangle is about to turn into a square real fast. And let's be honest, Jennifer Hudson isn't just going to fade into the background. She's a powerhouse. And if she decides to speak her truth, it could flip this whole narrative upside down. Because one thing Jennifer has always done is move in silence until she's ready to let the world in. And when she does, it's going to shake the table. So now the question becomes, who's really winning here? Is it Tiffany, sitting on the sidelines cracking jokes? Is it Common, keeping his image intact while the women fight for their dignity? Or is it Jennifer, who might be quiet now, but could very well be planning her own clapback moment? One thing's for sure, this isn't just another Hollywood love story. This is a cautionary tale about patterns, pain, and the price of ignoring the red flags we don't want to see. So, what do y'all think? Is this karma coming back around to bite Jennifer after she stepped into Tiffany's shoes? Is Tiffany playing petty games, or is she secretly hoping for a second chance? And is Common ever really going to change? Or is he just going to keep running the same play until nobody falls for it anymore? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is one of those stories everybody's got an opinion on. And while you're down there, hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure you don't miss the next twist. Because if history has shown us anything, it's that this saga is far from over.